So, what's it gonna be, Dylan? Are you in? Or are you out?
Well, now that all depends. Do I get to pick my own color?
This brings us into the third episode, Rain. They bring Dylan to their command center called the Garage, because it's a garage. Dr. K explains about the Ranger technology.
3 years before the Vengeance virus attack, I was the leader of a research team developing exoskeletal robotic suits to amplify human strength and speed. We were attempting to harness the human body's natural electrical output to prolong the suit's battery life when we had a breakthrough. The discovery of a universal bioelectric field, an unseen energy grid that connects the life force of all living things. Manipulating this field allowed for unimagined advancements in technology, including these. The Ranger Prototype Series Covert Infantry Biosuits.
It is, again, rather interesting to look at this both as a series in-universe and as a different universe. In-universe, if we assume the Vengeance virus attacked right after Jungle Fury, Dr. K's research would put it around when SPD was airing and, as far as we know, during a time when there wasn't really an active Ranger team, unless Mystic Force took place then. Dr. K could have been a researcher at Biolabs or some independent group that was tasked with gaining access to the morphing grid. We know the government had access to it because of Lightspeed Rescue, so it couldn't actually be government authorized unless Dr. K just stumbled upon the grid while working on the exoskeleton technology. Dylan's lack of knowledge of the Rangers could be chalked up to his amnesia, but if we look at this as its own separate universe, the RPM Rangers are indeed the very first Ranger team on this planet, or at least the very first public one, assuming that there's no Zordon, Rita, or any of the other threats that existed before now, or at least some of those threats remained dormant. So how does Dylan feel about this?
Because nothing says covert like bright red, yellow, and blue spandex.
That is not spandex!
Doc K can get a little defensive about his work.
The material is a self-assembling nanofiber formed with an intercellular sheep memory alloy.
My mistake. Now, is that machine washable or strictly dry clean only?
Dylan is put through a series of tests to ensure he can actually handle the wear and tear of being a Ranger, which involves drowning him at one point. It's a clever idea of why they don't just keep making an army of Rangers to fight back, that not everyone can handle the stress and power of the Ranger powers. However, Dylan still maintains he's not really up for this.
Once your DNA is bonded to the Series Black Morpher, it's permanent. We'd be trusting you with all of this.
Don't. You can't.
Why not?
I'm just not that kind of person, okay? Someone trusted me to save them once, and
You're still out there looking for them, even if you can't remember who they are. You're the kind of person I'd want saving me.
He finally agrees to join up, but he has one condition of his own. Ziggy is released from jail and brought with them. Anyway, it's time for him to suit up.
Series Black DNA morph bonding sequence initiated.
Seriously, this is like the third in a row where our mentor is messing with the genetics of our heroes. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a third faction in this war made up of mutant horrors created by Dr. K. The Morphers are okay. They're kind of generic, sort of cell phones, but they require the little flash cards to make them work, so that's something a bit unique in their favor. Dylan seems to have his own morpher that's a bit different, seeing as it has a gear stick. It is interesting that the opening episodes focus on the Black Ranger of all things. There is a formula to Power Rangers, for better or worse, and the Red Ranger is usually the one who gets the focus. Despite Dylan telling Scott that he doesn't sleep, he has a dream that night of someone being pulled away from him and feels compelled to leave and investigate his dreams. Naturally, Vengeance pulls this moment to unleash a monster and a bunch of grinders into the city. The Rangers fight valiantly, but their energy levels begin to drop rapidly under the onslaught of so many foot soldiers. It's only thanks to Ziggy, who calls up Dylan and gets him to return and help.
you take care of Big Ugly. I'll keep the grinders busy.
But Dylan!
There must be hundreds of them. I know. Benjek should have sent more.
So there's still one more Ranger suit for the core team, which leads us to the fourth episode, Go for the Green. Dr. K explains to Dylan the technobabble behind some of the extra powers granted by the Ranger suits. Something about multimodal reflection sorting, affecting electrons or something, but basically that means blue can slow down time, yellow can analyze energy and release it, and similarly red can also release short bursts of massive energy. Also, this is explained to Dylan while he is spinning on a turntable. table. Because science. Speaking of, Dylan's power, in theory, is a 5-second shield of invincibility, capable of withstanding massive explosions. And Dylan's a rather smug sort about all this. He really needs to be reminded of what he's fighting for, the people he's trying to protect and keep safe.
You want to be a Green Power Ranger? Yes! Well, what can you do?
I can sing and dance.
Truly, there is no one better suited to rebuild the human race. Ziggy has organized auditions for the Green Ranger position. Ziggy is also under the mistaken impression that it was a talent show, I guess. Unfortunately for him, it turns out Ziggy owes about $5 million to the mob.
Why, Ziggy? Why'd you do it? Is it just that you're that greedy, or you're that stupid?
Well, that all depends
funny.
what you, Sorry, what were those two options again?
He's saved by this lady, Tanaya Sevenson, who was also around for the auditions.
I don't know if I have what it takes to be a ranger, but I...
No, you definitely have what it takes.
Really? Well, if you say so.
Well, now it's confirmed you have what it takes to be a Green Ranger. Tommy's eyes glowed too. Ziggy is dispatched to get the morpher to her, but she's quickly found out and she reveals herself.
I don't mean this to sound rude, but, what are you?
Tanaya, Generation 7. Benjik's human infiltration attack bot. I am your thoughts and minds. I am mankind's unconscious being. I am the final evolution of this...
That was actually a rhetorical question.
Ziggy informs Dr. K and Dylan of what's going on.
Now, hurry, because this one's different.
Different? Different how? Explain.
Well, she's... She's enjoying this.
I would have gone with pants-crappingly terrifying, but that works too. Improving, Ziggy heads back to the mob and gets the two to fight each other while Dylan arrives to rescue him.
You've had upgrades.
What are you supposed to be?
Tanaya, Generation 7. Benjik's human infiltration attack bot. I am your thoughts and minds. I am mankind's subconscious being. I am the final...
Save it.
She's not going to be happy until she can do the whole speech, is she? To keep Tanaya from DNA bonding with the morpher, Ziggy attaches it to his own arm and activates it, becoming the Green Ranger.
Ladies and gentlemen, and, creepy .K computer screen, may I present to you the 5th member of our team, Ranger Green.
Nobody's particularly happy about it, except for Dylan, who points out that, regardless of how they feel, it was the only way to save the morpher from Tanaya, so they'd better get used to it. The first 4 episodes form a solid opening arc for the series, strangely focusing on Dylan of all people. Sure, little tidbits of character and backstory are provided for the other Rangers, but the focus is on him and Ziggy to a lesser degree, definitely bucking trends on the show. Power Rangers is usually pretty formulaic, with a heavy emphasis on the Red Ranger, so to see him getting so little of the focus is pretty odd. Still, if you wanted to get kids into the show, introducing Dylan in as badass a manner as they have is fantastic. And while we've had serialized elements in previous seasons, it's very different to have 4 parts as interconnected as they do, with Go for the Green being a bit looser in its connection, but still needing to be there because of its introduction of more elements like Ziggy becoming the Green Ranger and Tanaya 7. The first 2 episodes are probably the most un-Power Rangers thing we've seen since the rescue mission in Lost Galaxy. It does present us something entirely new. However, by the time we get to Go for the Green, we've transitioned into fairly standard Power Rangers. Following that, Dylan has to learn how to activate his invincibility shield, which will in turn provide enough energy to power his Zord. However, the shield is based in its connection to the bioelectric field, which relies on his emotional state, specifically confidence and faith. It's kind of similar to the believe in magic thing from Mystic Force, but in this case it has a little more sense to it. Dylan is cynical, doesn't trust anyone, and has a difficult time having implicit faith in everything, especially when he already finds the Ranger stuff goofy and silly. However, he brings up a good point.
You see, it's not the suit I have a problem with. It's you.
Dylan, you're out of line.
Am I? Have you ever met or seen this Dr. K? Anybody. It could be anyone broadcasting from anywhere.
After Dylan finally masters the shield and apologizes to Dr. K, the good doctor says that they owe the team something.
Rangers. I'm Dr. K. Why?
You thought I'd be taller.
So guys, that was my reaction to Linkaras' History of Power Rangers RPM Part 1 video. So if you guys are wondering how I found this video, I found it on an app called Daily Motion. So this is the app. So yeah, if you guys, Daily Motion is an app where you guys could watch videos. Because let's say as if there's a video that isn't available on YouTube. If there's a video that is not available on YouTube, you guys could watch it on Dailymotion. Or if there's any cartoons or TV shows that aren't available on YouTube, they're probably available on Dailymotion. His History of Power Rangers RPM Part 1 video is also available on his website. Hold on, guys. Sorry guys, so let me just go to the top of the fourth wall. So, History of Power Rangers. So, here is his History of Power Ranger videos. There, some of his old versions. I mean, most of his older versions are available on the top of the fourth wall, but some of these are his newer versions. So yeah. And his RPM video is here. So yeah. So if you're somebody who hasn't seen any of Linkaras' History of Power Rangers videos, I highly recommend that you guys should check them out, because if you are a massive Power Rangers fan, his History of Power Rangers series is for you. So please be sure to comment down below, subscribe, hit the like button, press the notification bell to be notified about future videos, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.